the alphabet, so I could put you next to letter I. Take my heart, baby, carry go. If you leave me, baby, I go die. The tuna sunny sissy kitty kitty. O can't profit the king, I know you're rissy. Nisi much that smile, siri. Now I'm penny once a minute, no chilly. Oh, yo, me be brony, yeah. Golden tree chocolates, yeah. Me cat holy, yeah. Each and every day, me baby deep. Oh, yo, I own. The time I dey chase, I'm there, no money, they owe. I own. See my heart back, she thought I dey grind for my kenke. My own. Like the air, I dey feel I'm for everywhere I dey owe. My own. Boy! Yes, we're live, we're out here, and everything is nice and good. We're representing for Mother Ghana. Most importantly, we're here in the name of Ghana. So it's Ghana first, and then we're here to conscientize everybody, to wake up and come on board. Let's bring Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to his next 4 years so that we can see the country continue to develop and progress. Yes. So I have had my fair share of staying neutral for all these years. But sometimes when the debate becomes important for you to be a part of it, at a point in every man's life, you're going to have to take a stance. You're going to have to represent something, stand for something, or die for nothing. So I'm here representing in my full flesh. My vote is one, and it's for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And I urge you, most importantly, the indecisive and the undecided masses, to make up your mind. Your vote can give somebody free education. Your vote can change lives in the most deprived corners of this country. The job is not easy, we all know. We've seen people try. We've seen people do to a reasonable extent what they can. But I believe in continuity, and I would rather see Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo continue the next 4 years so that his dream for where he wants to see Ghana could come to reality. Yes. So DJ, if you have a few more tracks, let me see.
Abedimpo. Ufikina.
Beats Nation.
The rest of the tongue party.
Another brainy classic.
Ghana people, time is here again. Get ready to cast your vote. How do make we go? Ghana people, time is here again. Get ready to cast your vote. How do make we go? Hey, about to burn and yantopa. Oko to aba, dancing in Ugo Kruti. Hey, about to wing yantopa. Oko to aba, to me, Ugo Kruti. Pray for Ghana, election time again. Show Africa, say, you're still the leader, When it comes to peace, you're still the only keys. So when you go down on your knees, don't forget to Ghana, Hey, about to burn and yantopa. Oko to aba, dancing in Ugo Kruti. Hey, about to wing yantopa. Oko to aba, to me, Ugo Kruti.
Then Kofu be Bepel Power, Ama Kasa Baba Ghana never. The meeting I have from sister brother, bachelor wagon on in the water waba, Amu Yepe, Obiala no be open on your don't come home to Boshana fight the Abba. To Woody Riala Sapa Abba. If you into Munkanana Ada, any time in Wabomba no party, every on the beat, Betty Biala Sako Wapa on the low, Obiala Shehino, dancing is true, Ghana, Yaya Bida, it's lawyer, farmer teacher, as a day Frank and Ghana, Africa. Ahaya Dama Baga,
Ghana people, time is here again. Get ready to cast your vote. How do make we go? Ghana people, time is here again. Get ready to cast your vote. How do make we go? Hey, about to burn and yantopa. Oko to aba, dancing in Ugo Kruti. Hey, about to wing yantopa. Uko to aba, to me, Ugo Kruti. Poliga to Tamale, Sunyani Kumasi Kof Town, get close to Tadi, Segude, down to all to SCCRA. Don't be violent, cast your vote and go home in silence. TV go report everything, and radio no go stop, so no one can sell. Time is here again, get ready to cast your vote. Yakayo, make we go. Gonna be
Ifrim. Yeah. I sick the way I can. Also, I just so fear. I baby, you know. Nana has some bangers on the street. Yeah. So big up the creative art scene. Big up everybody that's putting your energy into conscientizing the people to understand that we need to continue. Yeah. So 4 more for Nana. So yeah. Before I leave the platform for the rest of the people to come and continue to conscientize the people about 4 more. I have this special jam that I did, you know, in dedication to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. This is my contribution to spreading the word and making sure that he continues the 4 years. So if you're ready, DJ, drop that one. If you're watching from home, stay tuned. A lot more is gonna happen right here. And we're saying 4 more. 4 more to do more. Shit! Manage my body and go. Gonna be so no. And I do. So na. Yeah, man, and I show boy. And I show boy.
That was an amazing performance from Samini, and we absolutely appreciate his endorsement. Welcome to the #1 virtual rally. Ladies and gentlemen, this evening you are going to experience an amazing treat. Before 2017, the state of our country's economy was not a pleasurable sight. We were scarred with multiple problems of a rising cost of living, a depreciating currency, declining growth in agriculture and manufacturing, a rising debt stock, a widening fiscal deficit, and an unspeakable energy sector crisis. In the words of candidate Mahama, in one of his insipid presidential moments, he said, in 2013, we saw that the deficit widened. In 2014, we still couldn't bring the deficit down under control. And it wasn't until 2014 that we took a decision that we should go back to the IMF. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the level of hopelessness and the apogee of the NDC's incompetence in managing the economy. There isn't much to say about their digitization agenda, if at all they had one. Then came Nana Akufo-Addo and Dr. Bawumia. Their vision, an optimistic, self-confident, and prosperous nation with a strong and thriving democratic society in which mutual trust and economic opportunities exist for all, not one, for all, placing people at its center. Their hopes, their concerns as a driving force to the policies and priorities of the government. Only in a first term, what seemed an impossibility has been made a reality. The vision of a Ghana beyond aid has been ignited. A thriving economy despite COVID, jobs, industrialization, a booming agricultural sector, a much improved banking sector, and a reduction in the overall tax burden. Fellow Ghanaians, like we say in our local parlance, you have tasted both water and alcohol. You are going to be the judge. And here's the best part. Never in the history of public service delivery has the word digital attained such currency in our country. From our GPS addressing system, to our port system, to mobile money interoperability, to acquisition of driver and vehicular license, passport acquisition, renewal of NHI membership, birth and death registry, and in doing business generally. Today, we have a vice president whose numerous monikers include Mr. Digital. Indeed, I'm unable to condense our country's progress and success story on the economy and digitization in a simple introduction. In the next hour or so, I'll be introducing to you some of the amazing men and women on the battlefield who, together with our two commanders, His Excellency President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and the Vice President, have led some of the most progressive governments in our Fourth Republic. My name is Akosia Main. I'm a Deputy CEO at the National Youth Authority, and I'm going to be your MC for today. Welcome once again to the second virtual rally of the Hope Campaign. You can join us on Facebook, the Hope Campaign, and at the NPP, on all the NPP Facebook handles. Ladies and gentlemen, the last couple of months, we've lost parliamentary candidates and MPs on both sides of the two formidable parties in this country. Most recently, we've lost former President Jerry John Rawlings. I would like us to observe a minute's silence in memory of our lost dear souls. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the virtual rally, #1 virtual rally. At this juncture, we're going to watch a short video. Don't worry, I'll just do the first introduction of that. It's okay. I think so.
because Okasa and Kobe joining by Zoom. Into Yen on okay. Dave is not also speaking because Dave is not.
Don't you have my script? So read the script and see where I got to and take it there. Oh. Check your phone. Check on your phone. On your phone. Check the scripts on the platform. On the platform. My script has been on the platform. What he stands for. He's a seasoned academic. It's okay. I'll use it again. You don't worry. I'll prompt you when I'm using it. I just wanted you to get connected. Welcome back. You're watching us live on our Facebook pages, the Hope Campaign, also on NPP social media handles, is the #1 virtual rally. Our first speaker is someone who represents what this party stands for. He's a seasoned academic, an effective communicator, a researcher, and a grassroots champion. As Minister of Inner City and Zongo Development, he's facilitating the President's vision of not leaving anyone behind. Sheikh, as we all lovingly call him, he is also one that you'd want to listen to on a day like this. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Sheikh Mustafa Hamid.
Kukrudu. 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 Fellow Ghanaians, the hour is upon us. In just about 2 weeks, we shall be going to the polls to determine the destiny of this country for the next 4 years. We've heard the arguments in the public places, on radio, on TV, in street corners, in rallies, and etc., etc. But more importantly, I want you to reflect not on arguments on radio and TV and so on, but to reflect on the arguments that dictate and determine your daily existence as a Ghanaian in this country. What do I mean by that? I want every Ghanaian listening and watching us right now to ask themselves what governance is for. Why do people want to come into government? And when people come into government, what are they required to do for the citizens of our country? If you reflect quietly on these matters, you would come to the conclusion that it is only the NPP that comes to government and does something valuable for the citizens of this country. I want us to reflect whether in education, in health, in agriculture, in industry, all throughout all the aspects of our daily existence. Every single initiative and program today in this country that benefits the masses of people in our country has been instituted by an NPP government only. There is no single program that is there in this country that was done by an NDC government. And in this Fourth Republic, both the NPP and the NDC have come to power and gone. Indeed, in the over 60 years of Ghana's life as an independent country, the NDC, PNDC, and all its antecedents and its progenitor parties have ruled this country for 27 years. Yet there is nothing to show for it. We can ask, if you're talking about maternal health care, it is NPP. If you are talking about capitation grant, it is NPP. If you are talking about mass transport, it is NPP. You are talking about health insurance, it is NPP. You are talking about free education, it is NPP. You are talking about one district, one factory, it is NPP. You are talking about one village, one dam, it is NPP. You are talking about planting for food and jobs, it is NPP. So my question is that when the NDC comes into government, what exactly do they do? When they go to cabinet meetings, when they are in government, what exactly do they go to discuss? And what are the outcomes of the meetings that they attend when they are in government? So, fellow Ghanaians, I do not think that we need to labor the point. In 2 weeks' time, you have a choice between advancing the cause of our country, between progress and retrogression, between a forward movement and a backward movement, between progressive ideas and retrogressive ideas. You have a choice between a government, you have a choice between a government that creates loots and shares and a government that appropriates the resources of our country for the benefit of the Ghanaian citizens. Those are the choices that are before us. And like Akosua Menu said, you will come to the conclusion that there is only one candidate actually on that ballot paper. One candidate, no other candidate. The others are non-candidates. The only viable option for the forward movement of our country is that candidate who sits number one on that ballot paper. It is Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Everything below the number one spot is blank. Everything below the number one spot is blank, and it will lead you nowhere. Before I go and sit down, I want to use this opportunity to address my fellow Zongo people. Hitherto, the NDC had taken the Zongo communities only as vote banks. Ba abin the NDC ke mana bayan suna neman vote mu. Bayan mun vote musu, sun zo sarauta sai amanta da mu. Amma yau Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo, albarkacin Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, zangoni a cikin Ghana ga duka baki daya an gan amfanin da ke ciki. Jiyanga daga Madina Astrotef mun launch Zongo Cuisine Magazine. A gani maninmu da kaninmu da yayaninmu yan zango masu dafa abinci, sobolo, wace da sauransu yanzu ana da complimentary card. Wasu dewa sun fadi albarkacin Akufo-Addo da training da aka basu, yanzu dewa na da dispatch riders inda ake kai abinci ko ina ana sayarwa. An mun san yadda za mu yi rayuwa sakiya na zuwa cikin zangonni. A yawo a gani Astrotech facilities inda muka yi, sporting facilities inda muka yi, Bolga, Yeji, Salaga, Odan, ko ina duka cikin Ghana ga, Fadama, sauransu. Kuma saboda free SHS, yanzu ba fi sabilillahi masallaci sannan a biya school fees yara su je school saboda free SHS. Saboda si yanwa yan Ghana mabehe wuntan wani yi lihirte ka wumdete. And now I'm addressing my people in the northern region, the Dagomba community, for 2 minutes, and then I go and sit down. Zomi anduma na awone bako e Dubai den kananwo kati chang pibu dabsele netiti pi munyan lega na tungban zolana tim pi mi an wumbe ballot paper mazo tuli den nye number 1 Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo munya nimboso munya nangte amfani kata tungban changtoni ngumbalan ma nduma na wonni yan ngo ne kama shalsa nduma na wonno ama woni mbatran nduma na woni ngun konko nye nimboso mun lega assemblyman, le deputy minister, le minister, le vice president, le president. These are your only number 2 man na wona ngo yeto ashalma. Ama na wona ngo yiko December 7. Ka gana tinzang le chante zal shalma ka to tolo toni. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Bless you.
Next to address us is one of the distinguished female voices in the New Patriotic Party. She held a position as a deputy foreign minister one time. It came as no surprise that His Excellency appointed her as a substantive foreign minister. She currently looks over the Inya-Sewutum constituency. Auntie Ayoko is a household name in the Greater Accra region, and she's here to share with us on the #1 virtual rally. Let's welcome our foreign minister, Honorable Shirley Ayoko Botwe.
I hope you are answering wherever you are right now, listening to us. You know, on my way coming here, I saw a huge billboard of our opponents, which said, prosperity and jobs. And I was wondering, really? Prosperity and jobs? That's exactly what the NPP government in power now is doing for the people of Ghana. Bringing prosperity and jobs to the people of Ghana. John Mahama left power not too long ago. Only 4 years. Actually, it's less than 4 years ago. If he had any intention, if he had any plans to give the people of Ghana or bring the people of Ghana to prosperity through jobs, through good standard of living, why did he not do it? Is it because somebody has come in the person of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, who is providing, who has the vision, who has the policy? Now he's taught him how to do it. Will Ghanaians give power to John Mahama to provide prosperity and jobs for the people of Ghana? No. What we have with us, who we have with us, is the vision carrier. The one who carries the vision. The one who came and in the first week of governance, he said, I am a man in a hurry. I am a man in a hurry to bring prosperity and to better the lives of Ghanaians. And that is exactly what he has done. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has touched every part of governance. He has improved it. Sheikh has already mentioned the number of areas where we have made progress as a government. And the Akans have a proverb which says that Yesuma obanyansafo, Yesuma anamontinting. So if we are going to send somebody to bring us prosperity, it is Nana Akufo-Addo who has the vision of a Ghana beyond aid. A Ghana that is going to be self-reliant. A Ghana where he's going to provide jobs for the youth of this country. He has decided that because human resource development is one of the key pillars, one of the building blocks of a Ghana beyond aid, he's brought to us free senior high school education to educate our young ones. When they finish, for those who are not able to go to the university, he's going to take them into, make sure that they have some training of skills, technical vocational skills. Those who go to the university, they will be able to go. And in our second term, the second term of Akufo-Addo, he's also going to provide soft, interest-free loans for those who decide to go to the university. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Ghanaians, this is a president who thinks about his people. Through 1D, 1F, jobs are being provided. Today, you don't have that many Ghanaians going through the perilous journeys on the desert across the Mediterranean in search of greener pastures. It's called a Ghana beyond aid. A Ghana that is going to be self-reliant. A Ghana that is going to ensure that there is transformation, there is industrialization, that our factories through 1D, 1F, whatever you call it, they are going to work. And we've already started. We have factories dotted all over the country. There are many more that are in the offing that are coming. This is the transformational leader that we need in the person of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Somebody will say, what has foreign affairs got to do with local governance? It has everything to do with local governance, I tell you. Because you see, what happens within our region, the region of West Africa, what happens in our continent has a bearing of what happens inside our country. And so as soon as he took office, he decided that he was going to make sure that he was an integral part of ECOWAS. And through his initiatives, today we have what we call the Accra Initiative, which is to ensure that there's peace and security in the sub-region. Because if there is no peace, if there's no security in our bordering countries, the countries that border us, how can we have peace in this country and how can we develop? So the development of Ghana is directly linked to what is happening in the sub-region and in the continent. Today, Ghana is no longer silent on the international scene. You can feel and you can see Ghana through Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. His stature alone has brought us so many dividends in this country. As soon as he came into power, United Nations said, well, we want you to be co-chair of the SDGs. And they renewed it for him after 2 years. AU gave him gender champion. He was even given an award by the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa. Today, he is ECOWAS chairman of ECOWAS. And we all know what has happened in Mali. President Akufo-Addo has been able to bring peace to Mali in record time. Within 7 days of his taking over the chairmanship of ECOWAS, peace has returned to Mali. And if this is not the kind of leader you need and you want, what else do you want? I believe that he's a transformational leader. He has impacted not just Ghana, but he's impacted West Africa and Africa. And today they talk about an Africa beyond aid. Africa, obefa nintuma pa efra, whilst Ghana to efa nintuma pa efra. It is very important. We are going to develop through the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Ghana, the fastest growing, but for COVID, it was going to be the fastest growing economy in the world. So what else is it that we want? Finances of this country have been judiciously used. I believe that this is the kind of leader that we need, that we want, that we are going to vote for. On the 7th of December, people of Ghana, 7th of December, politics, it's not about no one political party could say for nothing. It is about making sure political party ni ba ebahani oni bi ahino shihilemi ahin. When I come on Jamestown used to be a very vibrant port for the people in the Greater Accra region until the port was moved to Tema. And of course, what happened to Makola also happened to Makola. Today, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is bringing the Jamestown Harbour back. The people of Jamestown, the people of Gamachi, the people of Greater Accra are going to see a lot of prosperity. Interchanges. Somebody says he's done Dubai. Go and see what is happening at Pukwase. It is just something that is mind-blowing. 4-tier whatever interchange. These are the kind of things. You go to Obechebi, there's another one there. You go to Tema, phase 2 is coming. Somebody is going to ask, what about all the travels? Yes, the travels are very important because uti fakwa, uti there, uti wadie so. So I tell you that it is through all these travels that people and the stature of our president, that people take us seriously. Today, in the Committee of Nations, Ghana is very respected. And that is why just recently you saw that a 400 million concessionary loan has been signed between Ghana and Korea. Between Ghana and India, you find all these Exim Bank facilities. It's like many countries are looking for FDI, foreign direct investment. They're not getting it because nobody trusts them. But Nana Akufo-Addo, he's not even asking for it, but people are just coming and saying that we want to invest in your country. That's what it's all about. When you have a good leader, good things follow you. And so today you have assembly plants in this country. VW is assembling in this country. You have Sinotrack assembling in this country. Nissan, and so on and so forth. In addition to that, many investors from all over the world are coming to invest in that 1D, 1F. What else is it that you want? So I'm asking you, ladies and gentlemen, Ghanaians, fellow Ghanaians, Nana.
He brought out a proposition. He brought out a proposal to the people. The people said, we don't know. We don't know you. Hey, the man who has been there fighting for human rights all his life. The man who, as a person in business, has built solid businesses, including telephony companies, including logistics management companies. You don't want him. So, another party came into power 2008. What happened? We didn't see any action. The people said, oh no, we still like them. 2012, the same thing. Till it got to 2016. And the people themselves said, what a mistake we made. What a mistake we made. And they went to the polls. The rest is history. But do you know why? Because by 2016, all those years that we thought we had given to somebody to fix this country, they rather took it further down. We first found oil somewhere 2010, 2011. We poured oil, and Ghana had one of the fastest growth rates. And the first year we poured oil, 14%. We had people who were managing this economy. They had all the resources. And what happened? Year by year, the economy started going down, 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 down. And they thought that it was a joke. You didn't have enough money to supply fuel for energy, so we had doomsaw. Almost 5 years of doomsaw. Lives were lost. Businesses were lost. Hopes were crushed. Hearts were broken. In fact, that story is sad. To the extent, by 2016, when we went to the polls, the people spoke. And they spoke rightly. But it's not just that. Since then, this same man who has put himself out to fight for our rights decided that he was going to build a wonderful house. And I use this example. He was going to build a beautiful big mansion called Ghana. And he was not going to get aid from anybody. He would use our own resources, our own energy, our own thinking to build this house. And he built a solid foundation. A solid foundation that was unshakable. And today, he's saying that on top of this foundation, we are going to put in a superstructure. A superstructure where all of us will have a room. No one will be left behind. Nobody will stay on the streets. Nobody will suffer from doing so. Nobody will suffer from illiteracy. Nobody will suffer from poor health. And somebody says, oh, please, let me come back. The same person who, when given the opportunity, brought this country to his knees with doomsaw, stopped paying allowances to student nurses, even started making students in university start paying utility bills because they couldn't pay enough to have our energy on. Businesses collapsed. And they were searching for money they couldn't find. So they had to tax everything under the... If you moved, tax. If you breathe, tax. And they said they want to do what? Come again. What should we tell them? What should we tell them? What should we tell them? No way. We have built that foundation. We are going to build that beautiful house. But let me break it down again. Before 2017, this country was in distress. The same people we gave the opportunity for 8 years. 8 years. And they have ruled this country more than anybody else. 8 years. What did they do? They brought Ghana to its knees. Our international reputation went down. People's businesses went down. People's families were crushed. People couldn't go to school because they couldn't afford it. By the time that it was time to go to school, people had to go around borrowing money from everywhere, selling all their things. Even their goats, they had to sell. Because they wanted their kids to go to school. And Nanado comes. And he says, wait a minute. As for me, I'm not looking at just coming to do one thing, do the other thing, do that. I'm come to build a house. I'm come to build a house with a solid foundation. I'm come to build a house on which you will build all the rooms that everybody will not be left behind. And I'm not just going to look at things one by one. I'm putting everything together. The first thing is, first of all, our people must be educated, because it has been shown everywhere in the world that without education, we are not going to go anywhere. And then those people who we kicked out in 2016, they said, no, it can't be done. They paid money for people to campaign against free secondary high school education. Abba. Why? Is it hatred for the man, or clearly you do understand the concept? Either way, you blast. So Nanado comes. He says, well, this house, like an architect, when he draws a house, he doesn't draw a room and leave it. He says, I'll do the foundation. I'll build the house on it. I'll design the rooms. I'll design the kitchen. I'll design the sitting room. I'll put in the bedrooms. I'll put in windows, and I'll put in a roof. So he said, let's build a solid transformation agenda. An agenda that will leave no one behind. But to do that, first of all, we had to make sure that our people had jobs. So watch this. He said, okay, they can have jobs, but we just don't want jobs. We want better paying jobs. We want jobs that people can live on. So I said, okay, let's design a system so that everybody will have a chance to go to school. Because he realized that the inability of people to go to school was because they couldn't pay for it. They didn't have access. So he says, let's create a system where at least everybody from Bonkrugu Yoyo to Axim to Inzulezu to Zogakope to Elubo, everywhere, every child will have the chance of going to school. So he said, let's do the one policy called free senior high school. And let's build quality on it. Such that in the next 5 to 10 years, the minimum education of the average Ghanaian will be secondary school education. Can you imagine what that would do for us? Even trotro drivers, even the mates who have secondary high school education. But that was not all. He says, well, we are just not educating people to be educated for education's sake. It's because we want to provide them jobs. But in the process of giving them jobs, we want to make sure that this country moves from where it is. Because as it was, Ghana was sinking further and further and further into a third world country. And that was not going to create jobs nor create wealth for its people. So he says, as we are training our people and giving them better education, let's also make sure that we change the economy. Because in the past, we're just exporting our gold, exporting our cocoa beans, exporting our bauxite, exporting our manganese. And it wasn't bringing us money. So what do? Instead of just exporting like that, let's add value to these things. In economics, they say something that once you add value to it, you go further up the value chain. That means you get more money. And so, in his mind, he says, how can we do this? The best idea was to do a policy where we had a policy of one district, one factory. Now, this one district, one factory, it wasn't like just, leave it and let everybody who has money build a factory. He decided that every district, all the 260 districts in this country, will have a factory. Now, why? because he wanted to make sure that everybody could participate in the economy, and you democratize the economy. Now, guess what? You build a factory in some corner in the country. What happens? It's not just that you get factory hands. You get people training for management. You get people training to be accountants. You get people even cooking food for the factory workers. You get people who will be doing haulage. You get people who will be doing sales. What does it mean? You are creating jobs for everybody in that district. But he didn't finish there. He says, as we are training people and giving them high quality jobs, we also have to make sure that people can eat. And one of our big problems was that we didn't have food security. Can you imagine that by the end of 2016, Ghana, with all our 13 million hectares of acres of arable land, we were importing at a minimum of $2 billion of food every year. 2 billion. Can you imagine if we even just invested 1 billion? What would have happened? So he said, let's add another policy that will make sure that first we build food security and that everybody can buy food and achieve food security. So he brought in planting for food and jobs. But he didn't leave it there. He said, planting for food and jobs, you might as well add another one, planting for export and rural development, because a lot of the agriculture was in the rural areas. But that was just not all, because we just don't eat cassava, plantain, corn. He said, let's add some so we can eat more chicken, more beef, more fish. So he says, rearing for food and jobs as well. And what do we have? Now you see the house coming up. He's built the sitting room, he's built the kitchen, he's built the bedrooms. But he said it's not all. We need to ensure that people's health are guaranteed. Now, let me tell you the funny thing about this thing. Now that it's coming to elections, we all did manifestos. Some people did a manifesto. And the key highlight in their manifesto was that they'll build mortuaries. One of the key highlights in our manifesto and our progress report is that we'll build more hospitals to keep people alive. Some were rather building mortuaries to keep dead bodies. What is that? What is that? It just shows that there is something called progress. And the people who put that progress together are in the NPP. They are the people with the plan. He's the architect with the plan. He's the person who knows where to put stuff and where not to put stuff. He knows where to put the kitchen. He knows where to put the sitting room. He knows where to put the bedroom. But he didn't leave it at that. He decided that, well, there was a lot more to that, because even there are people who not everybody will go to school. So we have to create an environment where young people who want to go into businesses can then go into businesses. So he came up with another concept, the NEIP. The NEIP, to make sure that young people who want jobs can train, and those jobs can be incubated so that they become the big blue chips of Ghana. So gradually, the beautiful house is coming together. But when you are building a house, you don't build it in one day. You build different parts of it. It gets to a point, you add the windows. Can you imagine that you built the house to a certain level, and somebody can say, oh, it's okay, you leave that, I'll put the roof on. Can you imagine the roof you put on the house? A roof that is shared like this, on top of a house that is straight like this. And we say, what? We want them to come. No way. We will not do that. The architect who planned the house, who planned where all the rooms in the house are, and who's saying that I'm going to even put a more beautiful roof on the house, he is the one that we are going to vote for. And he's at number 1 on the ballot box. There is no other. But let me give you another example. Because we all like soccer. We all love soccer. So you have a team that is playing, and they have a certain number 9 that you put in place. Oh, this number 9, the midfielders will try and they toss him the ball. Go to goal, nobody, only keeper. Then boom, over the bar. They toss it to him again. When he tries to dribble one, they cut him down, he gets up. They go back again. They try again. He gets the ball. This is an open goal. Oh. Boom, over the bar. Then the coach says, hey, hang on. We've paid money for you, pa. We've paid serious money to hire you to score goals. You are not scoring goals. Let's bring somebody in. Our own Messi. A Ghana man Messi. Come and put him there. He's not a big guy. He's diminutive in figure, but, he has a glint in his eye. And they give him the ball at midfield. He alone, He dribbles one, he dribbles two, he turns around, he swings around, tosses the ball over somebody, and on his back, gives a back shot, bang, inside the goal. Hey, the coach says, this is my new striker, Ibi. Then they give him the ball again from the corner. He passes it. It's passed back to him. He passes it again. It's passed back to him. He passes it again, passes, and this time he doesn't even shoot. He just passes the ball into the goal. Then the striker that they removed him before, he's at the touchline. Suddenly says, Charlie, the way this guy is scoring the goals, me too, I can score some. Coach, please, change me and put him there. What would the coach say? That we have to bring back a teacher to teach us how to manage our economy, but also to give us credibility, what they call policy credibility. But 3 years, now this is a government that the people who took us to IMF, they have been in power for 8 years. In 3 years, the government led by Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has transformed Ghana into one of the fastest growing economies in the world, with an average growth rate of 7% since 2017. But remember that by 2016, our economic growth had slumped to a 22-year low. And had we made the mistake of keeping that government there, we wouldn't have had a country anymore. Because as the growth was going down and further down and further down, our economy collapsing and going for policy credibility from the World Bank and doing all that, we were running ourselves to the ground. Somebody has come, has changed it, turned it around. In 2016, our GDP growth had gone down to 3.6%, the lowest in 20 years. Just 1 year of Akufo-Addo government, we doubled GDP growth to 8.1% in 2017. And it was maintained till COVID came. But even when COVID came, and every country in this world was brought to its knees with a pandemic, Ghana once again stood tall because we had a leader called Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And he steered the affairs of this country, that when they were looking at countries that have managed COVID very well, Ghana, a small country tucked neatly in the middle of West Africa, was ranked the third best. When big economies that we all know, that we all want to run away to, were crumbling on their knees and not managing it, we, under Nana Akufo-Addo, were able to manage it. And even then, we've been told by those outside that because of the good management that we've had, we have a better chance of our economy getting back on track than many others. So, as we go to vote on the 7th of December, remember, had we not voted Nana Akufo-Addo into power, free SHS would not have had it. Planting for food and jobs would not have had it. One district, one factory would not have had it. All the allowances would not have had it. And would have been seeing our GDP go down, down. So I'm pleading with my country people. This is a no-brainer. Just like I used the football analogy. If you have a striker that with the least opportunity is scoring goals, don't ever risk him for a striker who has been tried and tested and failed woefully. Ghana today is one of the countries that everybody is looking at. Ghana today is leading the African charge from aid to trade. Ghana today is a shining example of what we can do for ourselves. And it's all because of the leadership of Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Vote 4 more years and you get much more and much better for Nana Akufo-Addo and for the whole of Ghana.
deɛ di kan me de abasobɔde emu odu ɛma Ghana man panyin sɛ sɛbe ɔkyekyɛ 1D 1F anase 1 district 1 factory no wakae sɛ Atebubu Amante municipality no yɛsoso yɛhu hia sɛ yɛsoso yɛnya bi na nyame adom yɛsoso yɛnya bie deɛ di kan yɛde asedama no menua deɛ mɛka no nnɛ ne sɛ bankye deɛ yɛ area ha na nka bankye ha so ne yɛmfa bankye nyɛ hwee bankye ne yɛmfa nyɛ hwee no ɛsiane sɛ ne yɛnim sɛ bibi de factory a yɛtumi process bankye ɛma no babɛyɛ start koraa na sɛbe ɛtumi ɛkɔ amanɔne na de mfasodeɛ de brɛ Ghana ban ne nam so no yɛsoso timi ne bi so yɛ so ne yɛnim saa deɛ no kɔsii sɛ 1 district 1 factory ba yɛ ne yɛka sɛ wo
Gentlemen, is still the #1 virtual rally. Our next speaker is a chartered accountant and is a member of 3 chartered accounting bodies. He has 20 years of experience in local and international banking consultancy. He is also the immediate past country director of Crown Agents Limited. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Ni Papakote.
Kukundue eshi ni eshi radu. Anyami me bekene mimba nyomanye omanye drum nke cha no manyaba. Cha no manyaba. Yeah, thank you very much. Cozy, thanks for that wonderful introduction. I think we are having a really great session here, and I think all the speakers that have come before me have made a very strong case for why we should retain Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for 4 more years. But I would like to start with a story. A little over 100 years ago, 4 brothers lived in a little town, Ghana town called Baloawi. Okay? Now, the name of the town was synonymous with a certain unique ability that the inhabitants were believed to possess, because they were revered, to be prophets. So in today's language, you will say that they had this, anointing they could see. So renowned were they for this divine gift that all the towns around them, revered them and called them Balawe, the dwelling of the prophets. Today we call it Bawe, but the truth and the real pronunciation is Balawe. Now, aside these gifts, they were predominantly peasant farmers. So as the 4 brothers grew, 2 of them remained farmers, but one showed this very unique proclivity towards all things divine and spiritual. So, in today's language, we say that he was anointed, or he was audacious. And so the Ghana state came together, and then they ordained him as the priest of the Nile, which we call Nae Wulomo. And he served them in, this capacity for many, many years. Now there was a 4th brother, and he was quite different from the others. We all have brothers like that, don't we? He didn't enjoy the farming that much, and he was obviously not anything spiritual, because I have heard that by the time around his late 40s, he already had not 2 wives, not 3 wives. He had about 5 wives and about 15 children. So he was very accomplished in other areas of his life. Now, he was very inquisitive as a young child, and as he grew, he remained quite unconventional and annoyingly very, very adventurous. So, he loved a challenge, and he really did not want to stay in the village and live the village life and everything. He wanted something more for himself and his children. So guess what? So after pondering the thought for so long, he decides to leave the village and then settle in a place called Kolegono. This is 100 years ago. This story is a true story. He settled in Kolegono, and he began to work as a goldsmith. He became very renowned. He taught himself how to read and write. And he worked so hard to put his about 15 children into school. 2 generations later, this man's lineage can boast of over 50 tertiary and professional qualifications for his grandchildren. You look in the family, And you can see that within the family, he has nurses, he's got teachers, he's got professors, you know, he's got entrepreneurs, he's got bankers, he's got lawyers, he's got accountants. But sometimes I sit back and I ask myself, what if he was not bold enough to take that decisive step that afternoon? As I stand here before you today, I'm internally indebted to this man because I'm one of his grandsons, actually. And if he did not take that step 100 years ago to be different from all the others and defy everyone and say that it is possible, I will not be standing here before you today. We are all better because of him. Indeed, we are all better because of him. Now, when I look and consider quietly, I see that this is the exact same thing that His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has done for the generations of Ghanaians yet unborn. Honestly. Because, absolutely, and I think it deserves another round of applause. Because he has guaranteed for each qualifying child free senior high school education so that none of them will be left behind. This is by far the greatest blessing to have been bestowed on our dear nation since independence. And I'll explain to you why. You see, for me, when we talk about free SHS, everyone gets excited because it's free. But for me, free SHS is not great only because it's free. It's actually great because generations after us will get the chance to become far better versions of the Ghanaian than we are today. For me, free SHS is not great only because it's free. It's actually great because Ghana will always have the intellectual resource it needs to propel the engines of innovation, science, and technology, for this is what we need to advance as a nation. Free SHS, we get excited because it's free. I think we are missing the point. Free SHS is not great because it's free. It's great because it is what will bridge that gap between the so-called first world nations and they call the third world nations. It's how nations like Britain, France, Singapore, Japan, China, and all these nations, that's how they did leapfrog into advancement. There is no other formula anywhere. You heard it from my senior colleague, Yofi Grant. There is no other formula. That's how they all did it. And I'm really excited for Ghana because Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has placed us on the path to accelerated development. We must know and understand this so that we will not make a mistake and then move back to where we were previously. These nations did not become great because of their natural resources, because they don't have any. They don't have any, right? But what they did have is they had generational leaders, okay? They had generational leaders who foresaw and understood that advancement can be achieved if you build intellectual resources, not just natural resource. Ewa tumobeni chon, noni min chonji, kemman baya no, ehiake oya natural resources, oya gold, oya june, oya nibi, oya oil, keneke majimani bifesi, je no me, ni hani ma ya hin. Dabi, jemo. Ejake blofo mene ni wona me, ni dane wote wa visa ni wonto wa ya me mane, mi na me yo. Amebe noko, amebe gold, amebe noko, shame jemo. Ona, ejake ame cheme, they were smart. They educated everybody. Ewo noni keke min kenye bekeneji, benoni nanado ekewo fona. That is how you develop. Well, on our independence first. Because of war, many other African countries bana independence. I'm telling you that between the next 10 to 12 years, all the African countries, that free SHS, free education. That is the only way you can progress. I have seen better foundations being laid for us. And I must confess, not just in education, but also in health. When look at 300 ambulances, if you know by every district, there's at least an ambulance. You can sanikoba. no ambulance e ba anye wobo mla ne ke boaya hospital enene no me achuchwe wo be. I have seen better foundations there for the youth, not just in health. I've also seen it in energy. Ejake chuchwe wo dumi. Beneke la cha cha wo. Ni ehi wono ko femo. Mene kane eba. Tomo beni imbro nukpa yo fi wie. GDP ke okwa economy hu achi economy ekete here. Beni NDC take over in 2012. The GDP economy wasn't that bad. Within 3 years, I mismanaged economy to the point our GDP was 2.2%. NPP took over. Ni NPP bar the next year, which is 2017, it grew the economy by an incredible 8.1%. In all cases, we outperformed them. Even when you look in agric, you look at the agric sector. Ghana about 55% of many chuoni okwafo ijame. Ameba, agric grew less than 1%. It's never happened in the history of this country. Niwoba, through planting for food and jobs, subsidies to farmers, mass spraying of plantations, immediately we grew agric by 6.1%. And again, in all the subsequent years, we again outperformed them completely. Then industry is one area which really excites me, because in 2014, NDC achieved 1.1% growth in industry. Then the next year, they achieved another 1.1% growth in industry, which is next to doing nothing. By 2017, MPP comes and then they take over, introduce policies like 1D, 1F, stabilization of power supply, maintaining a stable monetary policy, which is favorable to businesses. And then in that year, we did not achieve 10%, not 11%, not 12%, not 15.7%. And I think we have to clap to this, because they know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Alhaji Muhammad Dubaumia, the economic magician, they know exactly what we are doing. We have seen how nations are built. We know how nations are, progressed. And I can tell you for a fact that the NDC have proven that they are clueless when it comes to, managing an economy and growing the nation. What we have done is exactly how it is done. But 4 years, we have built great foundations. We can't go back to where we were previously. So if I stand here before you today, my request is very simple, that we continue. The power is really in our hands. We continue down this path, because without a doubt and with all certainty, we will arrive at the paradise that we have all desired and all wanted for. Ewo inwie babao come 7 December nyumo echon wo kadi omo na fe balote na moka kenklen to benu wo wie many channel fe amefa ameho wo shishi shi tafla che Yehowa ejenwen ne ya bo polling station ne ya vote habo no elefen Beni eke Israelites be ya tap ujinche. Ke esha game fe ba kan ake on this day naked be ya feel there no, and I will deliver, because the battle is the Lord's. Ona ewo even though ni awina hawo minkpanye fai 7 December wo fe what tishimla mo fe amaya police station chonyanyu ni wo ya vote ke ha number 1 Niji Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ejake esumoma ni he knows what he's doing. That is all I have to say. Thank you very much. You might join your friend.
So the business model of Ketekrachi Timber Recovery is retrieving the trees under the Volta Lake that were covered when the lake was formed in the 1960s. It was virgin forest. So those trees are under the water and still perfectly preserved. At present, Ghana has lost almost all of its original forest cover. So with us, the timber that we have is timber that died more than 50 years ago. So you're getting a dead tree as opposed to a living tree.
So we found with 1D1F sort of a one-stop entity within government that you can go and that can address various issues that as a business you would always deal with.
It looks like a forestry business, but it's not a forestry business. It looks like a mining business, but it's not a mining business. It has a marine aspect to it. It also has a land aspect to it. So what we needed was somebody who would champion us and drive us through the bureaucracy when we were having these issues. And Honorable Ohini Konedu has done that for us. Two of the infrastructure-related problems that we faced was the road and connection to the national grid. So One District, One Factory helped us by getting a transformer and persuading VRA to connect us, and they've also helped us with repairing the access road.
I mean, I believe we have had a reasonably significant influence on the Sedum area. First of all, I would not be surprised if we are the #1 employer. We have people who live in the vicinity, so they are renting from homeowners. We have people who provide food on a daily basis. So there's a lot of commercial activity as a result of our presence.
I think that 1D1F is necessary. I think it has seen a fair amount of success, and I think it will see a lot more success because rural unemployment is a problem, and 1D1F is attempting to fix the issues that prevent rural unemployment from decreasing.
No.
thank you for sticking and staying with us. It's still the #1 virtual rally. Our next speaker is a lawyer, a gender advocate, and a vibrant force behind the scenes. This evening, we have dragged her from her comfort zone, and we can't wait to hear what she has to share with us. Most importantly, she's the Assistant Secretary to the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Hajia Hamida Kumi.
Kukrudu, Eshi Rado. I deem it a great honor and privilege to stand before all of you this evening to speak about the great works of the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo-led administration. First of all, I love democracy. And the reason I love democracy is because no matter how abysmal or poor a previous administration's performance would have been, they still stand a chance to contest the elections, which is why we are doing this with the NDC. Otherwise, they should not be here at all. Ladies and gentlemen, being a president of the Republic of Ghana is not an easy thing. It's not a simple thing. It can be overwhelming. And I know this because I work with the president. So for me personally, sometimes I cut former President John Mahama some slack because it is not everybody that can withstand the heat of being a president. And I'm saying this because of what he said some time ago. And I'm sure we all remember. Because contrary to what he said, that Ghanaians have short memories, we actually do remember everything, and sometimes we remember forever. When graduates complained some time ago during his regime of unemployment, what did he do? Does anybody remember? He said to them that he was not a magician to create jobs for people. Now, that was very insensitive, wasn't it? The current president, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, then the presidential candidate for the New Patriotic Party, informed his manifesto team, the committee, that listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. I have heard the cry of our graduates. So in drafting policies for this manifesto, you'd have to make sure that you have a deliberate and intentional policy towards the creation of jobs for our youth. And in the manifesto committee had to make sure that that was done, which is why the 2016 manifesto of the NPP was themed Change Agenda for Jobs, and that is how NAPCO was born. Ladies and gentlemen, under NAPCO, graduates are absorbed into employment so that they can gain some practical experience. When was the last time you heard anybody complain of graduates unemployed Graduates Association? We don't hear that anymore. But that was formed during President Mahama's regime. Now all we hear is NAPCO. All I'm trying to say is that I know, and I know you all know, that the Nana Addo Dankwa administration has done extremely well for this country. And I have no doubt whatsoever in my mind that you would make sure that we continue. So we all have to do what? On the 7th of December, you have to vote #1. You give 4 more for Nana to do more for you. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is a visionary leader. He can withstand the heat. No matter what is thrown at him, he's able to focus on his work. Now that is the kind of leader that every country needs. Under his leadership, Ghana has been placed on the international stage. He's doing great. And there is no way that we should go back to the days of Dumso, to the days of insensitivity. We would have to stick and stay with the president who understands the plight of his people and who will do anything and everything to bring relief to all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no way any of us, whether in Ghana, in Europe, in America, anywhere in Africa, there is nowhere we would have thought that 2020 would be the year that it has become. And I'm talking about COVID. COVID has ravished the world. COVID has caused a lot of grief to a lot of countries. COVID has brought some economies of the world down, but that has not happened in Ghana. And the reason it hasn't happened in Ghana is because we have a great leader. We have a leader, we have a president who prepares himself for anything and everything that comes. People lost jobs. People could not go out anymore in places. In Ghana here, Nanado brought relief to Ghanaians. Free electricity, free water, he did all of that for us. When COVID struck, he did not fold his arms and then said that there was nothing I could do for you, Ghanaians. Moving on, under this administration, we have done extremely well. There are a lot of initiatives, policies, and programs that Nana Akufo-Addo has brought towards the development of our nation. A lot of jobs have been created, and this has not happened before in the past. If you look at free SHS, under free SHS, teachers gain jobs, and that's more teachers compared to previous administrations. Caterers gain jobs. Under one district, one factory, those who provide raw materials for the factories gain jobs. Those who work in the factories gain jobs. We have a very practical example of EcoJuice right here on the table. This you can't compare to the Commander Sugar Factory issue. They said they had commissioned and opened a factory. The next day, the factory was shut. NPP government is a government of truth. It's a government of honesty. We do not take the people of this country for granted. Whatever we promise, we are doing, and we are doing even more. Nana Addo Akufo-Addo appreciates every single one of you. He loves the Ghanaian people. He means very well for the Ghanaian people, which is why I'm on this stage this evening to remind all of you, it is not because you don't know, but even being in government is the same as a sales job. You'd have to keep up with your clients. You have to keep up with your customers. You'd have to keep reminding them of the good works that you are doing. That is why we are here today. But it isn't because we see the NDC as a competition. We do not at all. We don't have any doubt whatsoever that come December 7th, 2020, Ghanaians will vote for Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. Let's go back to 2016, when the NPP was in opposition. All of these initiatives, all of the policies, all of these programs, one district, one factory, one constituency, one ambulance, and all of the other initiatives, we had not done them, and yet the good people of this country had faith in Nana Addo Akufo-Addo and voted for him massively. They voted the NDC out. So really, now that he has been here and done it all and has made each and every single one of us proud, I have no doubt whatsoever that we would give him 4 more to do more for us. At this point, I would want to speak a little bit of my local dialects. I want to speak Wali so that I can address my people. Jama, salam alaikum. Menye Nana Addo Akufo-Addo government wa. Tumane on tonne. Government jabe chibe adantumana tumana ta. Ajun karena waga kari voti 7th December 2020. Unambia ballot paper number 1. Near la near Jack vote number 1. Kari vote nana alaku 4 years. Who bantuan atunaton so hono on tunana akwiti. Kare number ebla acha o vote ku near la near ja. mistake karala tena and we don't want to make a mistake. So nsuhuyang mba mine in yauhe ni ala ni ja anta voting age kena oga ke voting. Say ke make sure ke vote number 1 a vote to Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Ye pa chow Ghana for obi a otie mi obi a ohwe mi bia abatoa no eyedu ti 7th December edu na yekoto aba obiara momodi na wonto emma Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo onoa enedie beko bebi a yepese yeko unkoso nyina ye hu yi eyo onoa na yeye onu nenim ne oye mudi obi foforo bia ba obeba be say no because nipa no onhu ne obeye inti ye pacho on the 7th of December ye na ye koto aba obiara momodi na onto emma number 1 na moma Nana Addo 4 more to do more for you. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate this opportunity very much, and I look forward to more encounters like this. So I would leave, by reminding all of you that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is a visionary leader. We have all seen what he has done, and he can only do better for Ghana if we give him 4 more years. So 4 more years for Nana to do more for all of us. Salam.
The next speaker is a member of parliament for Empire-Su, and we've kept him here for a couple of hours. Honorable Seth Kwame Champong is our next speaker. Let's give him a huge round of applause.
NPP, you say, yay! NPP, you say, yay! NPP, oh, yay! NPP, oh, say, aye! Share a bushia for a buyer betty, another on. Mobi ma me kansim bia wonte ye nkyerɛw sɛ ye kunkum nipa sɛ ɔmanfo yirayira woti Ghana wankasa hu bi sanka obi kun a nkasa abre unya abre po no wahwɛ me nanso mahu sɛ wo asomdue mu asomdue no ye nyame na de bae ye ba no na yɛse ɔko no ɛyɛ asafo Awurade ko yegusu gyina mu. The battle is still the Lord's. Nyankopon enodi ni pesi ye si na nako ewa abatu ewe mu no ene ye de Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo koto number 1 oye number 1 no oye number 1 obi ampa ne ho da ye go school no di first ahwan number 1 e di first na say Nana Addo awakoda soro ho oba ye no de friend e bambo kese a ne wiase nyina ka ye kana poto kasa mu say human security. E kwan ben na Nana Addo afaso a waboye ho ban. Makasa fu edi kan be kasa wa ha. We spoke on how this country went through a difficulty. We had no credibility in respect of policy. Yen shisha ya ye di bu man no. Nen toye ne tosin. Na o see a fire aboso na ye ko IMF for ho. We had to go to the Bretton Woods institutions for them to direct us. Ghana, Kwame Nkrumah Ghana, JB Dankwa Ghana. Oh, abusuafo, enei bema kukudrufo Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Obaye no, yede ne si banyu aneso no. Mfie mienu amma no ba ma brahye bedwam ba bia me wo no.
no say policy credibility no more. Yapon IMF monko yankasi abetutu enema. Nemum sena minua ba ayoko kan no nkran mu no. We are going to grow Ghana beyond 8. And no, and a friend no, Bambo. That is what we call security. That is human security. Securing employment, securing manufacturing, securing jobs. One who say, "Ekunu sisi asi ya yankasa ye nom." Ghana for man na ye adwuma wo ho, enye hoho. Say nipa ko ye adwuma wo ho no, on sori nkonkosere obi sika o. Enu ne friend no Bambo. That is your security. Ye ba no, you see agenda for growth and jobs. Ye ba ye no, ya manyuma ba. Ene ye tumi efa nipa wa adwumam na nipa hunu se bosome so a ono so benya kakra gu ne ho. Bambo kesia eso a ya kan any free SHS. You know why free SHS is the most secured future of this country? It is going to allow every young child to obtain enlightenment for themselves. That is the biggest security, because the constitution of this land grants sovereignty in the people, and the people are the ones we are educating. The future of every state is its kids, its children, the youth. Nana Adodanko Akufo-Addo say, "Onhwe mankwala ne nkoton dog chains o ton obetu ankwara ne school fees." Na de me dekora onni magician wo sika hyehyɛ ye ho Alhaji Mahmoud Dr. Baumia de aba ne say, "Ene nkwara no won be ko school pon a when they are going to enter tertiary institutions, nobody is going to guarantee for them the funds government will spend on them as loans. Government is going to ensure that they themselves guarantee for themselves. So me jina hoi me wafa yonko and a guarantee mame. Me ye juma be infiensia, me ye school me ye juma be infiensia e confiedu. Now say me sika me annual and monthly collections that is deducted for SNET was what I had to use to securitize my own future. I use my own contributions to defray the cost. We are not going to allow that to happen to any person. And it is not just that. We are securing human security by ensuring that post that exercise, you will get work to do. If you don't have accommodation, shelter, human security, you need that. What's a day? You see, a branch bia, a baba webia, obe we school no, o we school no ye juma, or any national service, no free national service more. You see, you be paid amount. Now they are called high dying. Umpe we now pay dear baby. In person me to do dia umpe we now pay dear baby. Share asumdie, emri bi atwam na ye call Ghana manti fisiri mu a ukọ yendi da bonfo kro kese mu a ne di twa ada pa yesi do ni pani no ondue leadership with wisdom was able to employ mediation sena ye nkasa ho dialogue enne ye wo ya na wo ye mamu ha mentimi ho ase aba ase atofom. There is peace back in Dagbon land. This is by what? Wisdom, wisdom, wisdom. Share Misremu. Abano uhe mechia. Ubonsi ya churo number 1 boho. Mi abatu wani ni hiya miyo. Esuru hono number 1 no. Emo biya nada o. Ye kase fenfie na yaka ya hu ya ensase. Ye kase kotuma number 4. Omo kasa anomu dada amu. Kotuma number 1. Number 1, ene behwe ama wo hu ato me hu ato me ye bambo hwe me nua ayoko kan ye obetena banwa ne so no esan se mampani kufuo wo ho no na oye emranim ni na ye de ne kotena baby a ye friend the Ministry of Justice and Attorney General's office na okọ national security meeting ti ofiro no san akọ foreign minister ti no oba he no se da bi ye hu bambo no yen ebibre mu ha sei ya to ye mu ha no obepese oni ye nuanom a ye bemben ha no ye bambo be ko yie ntu otu anamon tia ne namu okọ won nyina so ye he ensured that he visited all heads of state in West Africa and then drove them by his wisdom and leadership that let us bond together. And when we bond together, we'll be able to bring the terrorism which is disturbing us in the Sahel. Amaya nearby Sheka Krabi to say Wagadugu, Kosuru Kakrabi, and Nina Saraso, and ne a ho asumdue ni ho. Inti Quabin a befaso as asumdueno, ye be war gun and a bit drew ho, or Dion Bag and Kraha, any Besha said your friend of Accra initiative. And Abedani, a Juma Abedani in Shiamua, a Yensen Kanaho, so unni san in Dienibia, hey, Wintimin Yobi. Why, ye am Abedani. A leadership legacy for West Africa. Accra Initiative. You have all security heads in West Africa meeting regularly, not just quarterly, but as and when there is an issue, they arrange and meet and discuss security in West Africa. And yeah, one was here, so Mama ECOWAS chairman, and the Omun Nafana, so ECOWAS chairman. It's answer was a decline. The leadership he is demonstrating is beyond measure. And I said, Nana Adodanko Kufuado, Yefuna wo Yamin Shirano. The percent Ubibia o Sheminauti Minitia CSA. Ye buy na proceed for no mododo. Ye bear 32,000 and Pim Ediasam yenu. And they Yehujam dia could do 38,000. Yafa and man and mema and Pim Sia over 6,000 at the account police form. Yanya dear. And they, yes, I can be actually say, Sana Kanam Betty say, yes, any Prusia Fenipa na Kokoye Takra Jimuno. We are restructuring the recruitment system and to the security services. And I want to say that, yes, those who know how to fix it, they fix it with finesse. The only my dear Neyeno, or Yema Hundaho, or Yemane Fe, or Yemane Kono. This is the leadership, the new patriotic party is going to continue. Me, I know and I believe, after 12 years in parliament, that this election is an election for NPP. And it's for progress, because we need to move Ghana forward. And we are going to ensure that this continuation remains. Here, Ahubambo, ye walk. Will be enadao. Nanu ya muti say yes ni pebi so mbeso omuti omu free Ghana. Maso na nado danko akufuado anase. Na me de na ha me sa denti kwa na MPP for nkwa bra na eba. But we are determined and we will ensure that we protect this country in the seas, on the land and in air. We are training police people to fly choppers. We are training police people to be on the sea and on our water bodies inland. That is absolute security. We've procured logistics for them. We've invested in their conditions of service. Aban ba enkwa emra yedi adwuma yedi twa abambofoka e wo national security. I have friend security and intelligence regulations no ya ye e wo mrase bedwam. Ya ye mra aboa ama won susu wa setena mu. Kwan obepa so anyama bekoso. Nanu ada ya bosumi etwam ya prosifo de ya ya ma prosifo. Fire service for de ya ya ma wo mu. Asoja for de ye ba ye ya ye nimpre no. Ah, now pay we dey be na pay bio. Vote for Nana Adodankwa Akufo-Addo, and you'll be safe in Ghana, and you live peacefully in Ghana, and you work and enjoy your earnings. Cha omanyaba medama sebuchina for.
Wohwe amanse potem hase ya enye won wase ye fra hase be kwai na te say ye abe kwai che say embanko a na gu area hase eti so wohwe no ma ekoso nyina wohwe enko ahodo pole oha eni dunsi aye 116 towns ye wo be kwai municipality mu a kro bia be ko bia no ubenya ebabia ye duabe eti na nado so wonim die mu ka se ohhehye mfidi dwuma se ne be ya enoma ye no ho no ye benya so mfa so de na nado ampa watimi age adwuma yi atom ama omumfidie yi ebe to eme ahodo ye won patam wa eze wuntimi nka se ma aba pro yamfa anya hwe wa wokodo ye be de ni we ya otwe ye do ye de ye nyina ye dwumadi a ye die no ye benya so mfaso anya so be ka se me agisa abetwa nko a be sa abre yi de ukonu abe na ubetimi de akwa kokko no mu ya omoso ma betobi na kyerɛ mfasodeɛ no enye bakofoɔ enye afidudwuma na omusi ye no nkwa ne benya so mfaso na mmom bekwa mensin ha sei ene wona wetwe ho ahia ni nyina no nanado obu no obeka se one district one factory no hu hwe ba me de me mahu bibi nanado senya mpanifo ka se bi hye wonu ana woto eben no se ye hu se bako hye enum yesere se bibia na ye pempuntu ene ne ntremu yesere wo de baako yi wonya 5 baka ho ebe yensia anya krompo mikrom bako ba bisi wono na ne yesere se wo bohye wo de wo hye bo a wodi so eti yesere se wo ne ba wo mia eba na wo akukudam ye omo so toto ntutu yeye yesere se NPP ama me die hwammo na de bako ye me de ene se ye de ye hu bi ye ni nkatai ya so nsi ye mprim yakoma ti ye de ye bie yakoma mu wo ye NDC ni wo ye dan wa hu bi o what's bi emo bi na ada.
Welcome back. Our next speaker is a powerful young lady. She's a vibrant female grassroots mobilizer. She's an effective communicator, and she holds an enviable position as a Deputy Director of Communications at the Office of the President. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Fatimatu Abubakar.
Kukrudu! 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 My brothers and sisters, kindly listen. This message is very important. This year, we have a very unique situation. This is the first time under the Fourth Republic that the two leading candidates of these elections have occupied the seat of the presidency before. For this reason, the consequence of every vote that will be cast is already known to us. It is already known. That is why this year's election is not about promises, but it is about track record. And we are confident that the track record of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo is what we are confidently campaigning on to give us 4 more to do more for you. Remember that whether a country is progressive or retrogressive is all about leadership. It is leadership that moved countries like Malaysia from 3rd world to 1st. It is leadership that moved Singapore from a 3rd world to 1st. It is leadership that is moving Ghana from a Gadgetsburg economy to an industrialized economy under the leadership of President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Ghana this year magic bread will fear mutie Mr. Mu Yejina Kono. Owoka ni bre baby edru ne nya agrasem. Na wotwe mienu pepepe ye koto aba. Na abato a ye koto ye sononko. Fi se afi we abato no. E kandifo mienu a ye koto aba ama omo 7 December no. Omo nyina omampanyi akonya no omo to akada. Enti abana ye koto no enya boshe abato. Eya dansidie abato. Eye wono kreka ne osi ade yo abato. Eye wadwuma pa abato ne ye koto. Na sansunsuanso ni ntintina ye kase na san panyimfo mienu ye omunya akwanya bedi Ghana so no adwuma so be na omoyeye kan se ebra ye beka se omampanyi bi ya so na hwe ahu se wo bema ana osipisita na onim na adwuma ene se atorenchem ana se oye ne bi atoye na se obekan a anda papa no adum so ba Ghana ha no menua eye ni bresem Ye dum nkania ne etu nkania buomu okrom ha. Ye dum nkania no mesra ya ma free electricity. Me say ebra cold store ye twe ensuomunam ahodo na obekọ bola so na ye ache mpete eye obi dwetire eye obi akohoma sika eye bosia Ghana de hye dodo age wokrom ha ene ye twagu kan say ebra cholera ba krom ha a eku Ghana de hye over 200 ya anche wonsuo ya ma kanea na nka cholera de nka nsuo ne ye de bema wo enti na kan say abaya entimi anso cholera no entimi nso covid ma wo otu aba nsunsu aso ne say after 7 January ebe ye swearing in bisa ho sa wo beti fellow Ghanaians na ye bedum nkania mesremo President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ebra obegina Ghana fo anim 2016 o say otimi hu se Ghana mabu no ade titiriwa edi enya ani adwumasem edi entia sa brand ne e wo IMF na enya abosremu ka keke da bi enya nanu asem keke obekan se Ghana Living Standard Survey omo ye nhwehwemu 2015 statistics omo de beto abonte ne se Ghana mabu no emu 11.9% omu ni adwuma oda no wasori no wasre kwan so ne maame ho akwa agyanan bia no osre tonsuo no oda no ohwe TV eno ne track record a NDC dija Ghana de hye na President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo enya akwanya besom ye no emfie miensa pe the same survey the abeto abonten say Ghana mabunu a omu ni adwuma ye 8.5%. As at 2019 na unemployment yate so by 3.5%. Enti economy within this short period etimi kanche na eye nyankomade emi enya adwuma ma Ghana mabunu a se me ne wo kasai aban yi etimi de enwuma aba ama aboa ma Ghana for over 2 million anya adwuma ni bi ye no sa aban no se ade yo na menua no ye kan President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo se no obi nim no ana obi nte papa na se ana onte ne nka ne na doye ne na komapa ne ejapa a wo ya kan se ebra COVID-19 eba Ghana ha eti atese wo wiase amama baabia na economies a omo bi di ejina brane aye from giant economies mpo na oma call mu nkotodwa anim na yare ya bre won ase ama nipa in millions enya yare ama adehye dodo ahwere won kwa na nnwuma agu President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo one opanyi anasa o mampanyi o wa abadaye na owotema na wotie ya asem no anka ye nti obi anti enye baako nya mienu nya miensa na wotwe bia wo behye ye nkran one e bekasa na enye kasa kwa enye tra keke o bekasa no na anamontu odi ani na anamontu obe na oyeye o mampanyi say onim say covid aka enwumanwuma na ono ne agenda for jobs no ensuo mu o ewiemu o obeboa ma nyumanwuma afọ montuma pa afra no mamma Ghana adehye nkankan mabunu anya nnwuma ye nya kakragu omkotoku omunti ena President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo e de COVID-19 alleviation program ba ya ye tu sika 1.2 billion si ho say pan sisa sika yi yemfa bi meche nsuo maye yemfa bi mebo ayares omo ye ayaresa adwuma omugina ekono omakatua ho mo ho 50% yemfa bi nya insurance mo na yemfa bi nso emoabo anwumaku a COVID-19 ya affect omo na obekan a yesi September bosumi mu na wotwe edikan na under 600 million cap business support no na NBSSI a ehye Ministry of Trade ase atimi ayi saska no mu bi amagana de hye poly 150,000 Mesrel abana ye koto no eye de hia de mu abato enya bosha abato enya abosre mu kan abato eye ne waye bida President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo a waye bida enti ne efre na aye boafo Aba no ye aba between ne onim adwuma ne ne onim adwuma. Ne owo abadaye ne ne oni abadaye. Ne owo nkaye ne ne oni nkaye. Ne owo ani suade hunu ne ne oni ani suade hunu. Ne owo tema ne ne oni tema. Na President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo eba saa attribute ya oni seso. Na nedwuma adi nanim kan. Ghana adehye mesremu. Aba ye kotui nana oni benkum ni nifa pepa na e wadodo menkoto ani hwe baabia hwe soro ho. Esoro ho yenkosa ebre enkosa ya daage ebi a na obi adani paper na butu no de ahya wonsam because wo kosoro ho na wo hwe soro ho na wo hwe President Akufo-Addo onye ye hoho na wo hwe osono no ahwe so de akoti mu aba mabi se mpose ya usazamzam when am ya son de kwalembakwa ayi katiken vote to test parties President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo the papa yoma na ase kauzin ko kanga zugo timiye President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo da kala te na chemba ne te bupum sa wo sabada ka atoma bozu ka toma da kai NDC ni John Dramani Mahama da zuligila wosa kaduo ken IMF ye policy credibility for ya zalogban kayi ken ye toma so kusonge ama wenam zug da okanga da Canada de popa yuma na ase ama otomo kan check at bisa wo sakwan sakuru ban mo ligli wo lig dan big wo talam dan big wo nong dan big wo so wo ton ken sakuru dinzu kan kun sosia ye yum kan so wo ken tortoise President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo yan waye na iyaye na mata salamu alaikum Yankuri Naro Konku 2016 President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ya yi wani alkawali da mu saboda Allah ya tun cika da wannan alkawali mun fara vote ba yau ba mu taba samu minister for Zongo Development ba mu taba samu Zongo Development Fund ba ama President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo da iko Allah ya ba mu ministry ya kuma ba mu fund ya sa kudi ana tanye yan zongo we ya biya malumam ana biya su we Arabic teachers abiya su su kuma teachers ni da ba biya su ama yanzu saboda Allah ana biya su ya cika da wannan alkawali saboda Allah na rokonku mu hada kai wallahi kowa ya vote my President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo the NPP mesremo mede manusi no abato no enya agudie se wote ho na ma obi betwa wakwam na obeyi osi akwan na wankoto aba ni bia mesrew 7 January o sorry a obeto kakanka enti ye ntie ni obi ka NDC for pomon sekete na ye bekwa akoto omo salai tenten ye bekwa akoto omo de ka akọ ye be trek akoto omo de basis ko mesi ye be nante akoto ye da ye yare mpa so ye be sori akoto mesremo ye ni abre ye gina okono Ghana adehye ye nkotintin ma President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo boom 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 Medamasi.
But he says votes for Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Boom, 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 boom. Our next speaker is one that I believe will excite many young female viewers watching us. He's been on our screen for a couple of years now as an actor and an entertainer. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Prince David Osei.
Kukrudu. Mesdames. Today is social media prayers for the president. So if you will indulge me, Let me speak in the atmosphere. Father, in the name of Jesus, once have you spoken, twice have we heard that all power belongs to you. We declare in the name of Jesus that no weapon from the east, from the south, from the west, from the north, against the president, against his cabinet, against NPP, every divination, every incantation, every projection in the realms of the spirit, we thwart in Jesus' name. According to Psalm 37, verse 15, thy word declare, O God, that their bows shall be broken, and their arrows will pierce through their own heart. Every evil arrow, let it pierce through their own heart. In Jesus' name. All right, let's talk. Lovely viewers at home watching and listeners, my name is Prince Ividosei. A lot of people have been asking me, why 4 more years? Why have you taken it so personal? Have you gone to take money? Give us our share. No, it's not about money. It's about the passion. I have seen the policies His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa has rolled out. I have seen NDC 8 years and Mahama. And I've seen just 3.5 years getting to 4 years of His Excellency Akufo-Addo. Many of you seated at home right now, I'm sure you're enjoying NHIS. You go to the hospital, you get free health care with your children and your family. But let me say this to you. Do you know we almost lost the NHIS? Because the former regime, Mahama, built a debt of 1.2 billion as a legacy debt for NHIS. It was almost going down. When His Excellency took power, because of his benevolence, he paid off all that debt. And as we speak right now in 2020, he has paid 5 million Ghana cedis to service providers. That is why you can walk into the hospital when you're pregnant. You can walk into the hospital when you have malaria, and you'll be taken care of if you have your NHIS. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 2019, His Excellency came up with the agenda, a year of return. It's only a visionary leader who can do this. A year of return was a program that saw Ghana put on the map. It gave Ghana a great notoriety. People from the diaspora all over the world were coming to Ghana because it commemorated the 400 years of slavery. And in this particular year, which was last year, Ghana got about 1.9 billion in revenue just because of year of return. If this is not, clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands. If this is not a blessing to have His Excellency Akufo-Addo lead Ghana, what else do you want? Number one is on the top. Everything begins with 1. So why do you want to go to 2? It's 1. So I am entreating you today, come 7th December, it is very sure. When you get to the polls, don't be confused. Vote for progress. The prosperity and progress of Ghana is in the hands of His Excellency. Can't you see? Look at the major renovations, look at the road, look at infrastructures, look at every district, one hospital going, look at his building Kumasi Airport. He noticed there's a lot of traffic congestion in Ghana. Then he said, oh, let me build railway lines. Let me build railway. We have railway under construction right now from Accra to Akosombo. He's building it. He has given out money. During the COVID situation, everybody was, calm because His Excellency took charge. That is a leader. He comes to our homes, he encourages us, he speaks to us. And aside that, for those who have small-scale businesses, the MSME, he rolled out huge sums of money to be dispersed for these small capitals for them to function. Look at agriculture, the people who farm cocoa. From 27 to 40% of growth in terms of production. And they can also process their cocoa through WEMCO. This is the great initiative of His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. I don't want to talk about free SHS because it has already been said. How do you feel when you live in your house and you get free water, free electricity for 6 months? Brother, sister, don't be deceived. The right person to vote for is His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. In my sector where I work, creative industry, the Creative Fund has been set up. The National Film Authority has been set up to help regulate our movie industry so that we can monetize our product, our movies. In the creative art, the government has given 40 million to revamp the creative art industry and to revamp the tourism industry. What else do you want? Don't you feel proud? Don't you see His Excellency has brought... Thank you, thank you, thank you. His Excellency has brought prestige and honor to the presidency. How do you feel when you hear His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa is the president of Ghana? Please don't be deceived. Don't be deluded. As for NDC, they've done their term. We need to move forward. We need to progress. The prosperity of Ghana lies in the hand of this great man. Don't make the mistake. It's not about politics. We need to move forward. We can't go back. So please, I'm indulging you all more and more fear. Me nyansa for me to be in support here at the end. Debbie. Me dream. To this Ramu, come 7 December. Tuma number 1. Make no mistake. I love you all. God bless Ghana. And God bless you all.
That was so powerful. Our final speaker for tonight is a gospel musician, entertainer, and it's fitting for him to end this session this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, he's one we all adore and admire. He's so humble, so affable. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Kwesi Oting.
Wow. Well, I want to thank the organizers of this great event for giving me the opportunity to speak at Rally. It will be the first time I've ever engaged like this, but I count it a great opportunity thanks to the innovative ideas that the NPP party brings to this country and to a lot of the things that happen. People that just turn 18 years and 24 years are within the bracket of the statistics of people that do not vote in elections because, I mean, they see themselves as young or they are not concerned about the direction of a country. But this particular year, I'm speaking to you if you just turned 18. I'm speaking to you if you're 19, if you're 20, if you're 21, if you're 23, if you're 24, if you're 22. The destiny of this country right now lies in your hands. The future, the direction of our country lies in your hands. Don't stand aside and say that you are not voting this year. There are a lot of people that have lost confidence in leadership or political leadership over the years. Why? Because, I mean, that opportunity has been explored by amazing people that have led our country. People that have had the opportunity to enjoy free education in our country. When they had the chance to lead our country, they did not implement this policy in this country. And these same people are promising a lot of things. I'm speaking to you, young person listening to me, on the 7th of December. I want you to rise. If you have registered, and I believe that you should have, rise and come out and vote for transformational leadership. Transformational leadership, one that transforms the destiny of our country. Today, we have bloggers. If you are a blogger, I want you to intentionally post about the president. Why? Because the criminal libel law that was repealed in 2001 is why you can freely say what you think and go to sleep for free. And it happened when he was the minister, attorney general of our country. Transformational leadership. Look at the impact of media industry in our country. Today, they had several radio stations, several TV stations. Why? Because the criminal libel law was repealed and people could say their mind. At the time, there were only 1 or 2 TV or radio stations in our country. Transformational leadership that has translated into free education. When I look at the free education situation, I think about girls. In many poor homes, girls would be ignored and boys educated with the little they can afford. But today, every girl can go to school. Every woman can go to school in our country. Can you imagine the investment, the mental development? I mean, not every leader believes that investing in the development or the brains of our country is important, just as we saw the NDC fighting the free SHS policy before it became a reality. Right now, it's obvious that Ghana can have a system where our country people can, at least within the next 5 years, 10 years, 15 to 20 years, every child in Ghana, or every adult in Ghana can at least read and write and speak freely. It transforms our country so many ways that the NPP party has led in so many ways. And today I am actually recommending for you, as a young person, consider some of these things and go to vote, not because your father voted that party or your mother voted that party. Vote on policy. Look at the situation we have. A president that has grown listening to the founders of this country, discussing how the country would go and the visions of our country. This is the situation or the system the person grew in. For so many years, our right to vote was not always there. It was taken from us. For almost over 20 years, our country was not voting. People fought for the freedom to vote, which we will be exercising on the 7th of December. His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was one of the forerunners that fought for your right to vote in this country. Again, transformational leadership. Let us vote for people who, without political opportunity, have impacted our country. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, without political opportunity, when he was just a citizen, had fought for our country in so many ways. And now that he has the opportunity, look at the things that has happened and the development our country has experienced. I want you to make a quality choice. We have an opportunity to vote for people that do honor politics and dishonor politics. When everybody was calling His Excellency John Dramani Mahama a certain name on social media, if you watch, I want you to take this thing. Let me actually say, when they were calling him Papano on social media, whether he's the Papano or he is not, nobody heard His Excellency Nana Addo ever saying it. A person who was called 419 mafia boss by this same particular person. This same person with the opportunity to just call him Papano and for the Papano to become international news has never uttered it from his mouth. Vote for honor politics, not politics of insult, not politics of anger, emotion. Let's become citizens of that vote on intellect, not emotion. And some of these things are some of the things that you should consider. If you are young, 18, 24, that bracket, I'm speaking to you. Come out and make His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo your president for the next 4 years. Thank you.
On the top of this ballot paper is none other than Our Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. A fine case has been made for him this evening. Kwesi Oting ended it by talking about his character as a leader, his consistency, his decorum in showing people respect even when they throw it back in his face. On 7th of December, when you wake up, is right here. Number 1 on the ballot. Very easy to do. I would also add that we're in the home stretch. Protect your voter's ID. All sorts of mischievous things is going to happen. Make sure you protect your voter's ID. Pacho, December 7th, yabako tuaba, ukofa o ballot paper. Ukoko motino, debate team so, number 1. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Number 1 on the ballot paper, your MP, constituency, I was Otuaba also, no constituency MP, no, on Subeda number 1. Nananie, Osnunie, Nananie, Nebanie, Nananie, Osnunie, it's very easy to do. Now, the way ube full the paper, no. Pacho, this year, 12 presidential aspirants, about to imo. Utim wia Mr. Emo and Kensi Susei, Debbie. Ube Kensi Susei. Oh, I say wo to book mono. Book dey say entu mu say me boa. Wo be ye ne say na wa case su say. Enye sa wo ye ne say a se na nkrophobia ye in times past no. One sure na akọ transfer ink no akọ another person so minjin this help person otuma number 10 on the ballot paper won person be waste your vote. Mr. Wa tuma number 1. Very simple. Ono di kind. We be a debia bon pie chair, they all say, Erade, my mindi kind, and san alcano. Sa pepe benti, manindi kind would be a uyum. Mr. Mo, number 1 on the ballot paper. Please, as I said earlier, when you are done voting, and this is not just to educate people. Even educated people sometimes get this wrong. You're not supposed to fold the ballot paper this way. Kindly fold it this way. When you are done voting, there'll be a lot of education on that. Patrol, Patrol 4th of December, another one. Into 30, we remind us. You had a good time. I've had a good time. Powerful speakers, powerful women were here this evening, and they made a fine case for making sure we gave 4 more for Nana to do more. Thank you so much for bearing with me this evening. My name is Akosia Meinu, Cozy, as you all love to call me. I can't wait to meet you again on the 4th of December to cement the victory that is imminent, and that's to vote Nana Danko Kufuado, number 1 on the December 7th. Thank you so much. Be safe. Wear your mask. Protect yourself. Thank you.
Government na da Roma. One district factory no. And one boy. Kanya no kami kwara mini ha, kami madam fofo bebre nka ni ha se. E ka se be adwuma ere. Ama yen san de akoya na asama de. Yesu anya bibia ye. By abana da Roma. Aboa ma company de aba ase ama yesu anya bibia ye. Yesu ama kunsu no epia bonche no. Amanfo ne ji hu pa. Na government so so yase. Anka ye product na na se e be drink na na se be bia. Your company akodu media akodu anka enkodru government na so yasin aboaye ateye mu ama sia no mikra me adwuma wa ha de meka nse me da ban na ase na de meka